It is morning. The roosters are crowing. Good morning, guys. Got to have the coffee. You know, I dropped this mug a few weeks ago or whatever, maybe a month ago, and broke the handles off of it. So, but I'm still using it. It really, because I had broke the other one, the infamous blue one that showed up in a lot of the early radio shows. That one was just like this, but then I went and bought this one. Man, these things are not cheap, and didn't even have it very long, it seemed, and busted those the handles right off of it. That's okay, it still works. But yeah, well, the update on Amazon Prime for me out here in Hawaii, it definitely probably might be different for the lower 48, but it has been since what is it, Wednesday. It's now Friday. Items have not even shipped out yet, so we're just kind of seeing how it goes. You know, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. If it doesn't ship out by Monday, I want to say, if I don't even see any kind of shipping from Monday, I'm gonna give them a seeing anything by Monday. I don't know, but the strange thing is, everybody, all my friends that actually have Prime, they tell me that oh yeah, no, my stuff arrives a lot faster than without it. So I don't know. Maybe it's a thing about me. Maybe that's what it is. They say, you know what? We know this guy, and we're not going to ship it out to him. I think that might be it. Those of you that remember early on in my main channel there, I talked about, there's a video called Popeye's Chicken. And that whole story when my, I guess, I don't know what happened. Maybe my ID was stolen. I don't know. Because this was all during the time also where I had my checkings account stolen, or my card number stolen from my debit card. So I was like, you know, constantly being charged every month for these miscellaneous strange it was web link bucks or something. They were turning it into web link bucks. I don't know. Maybe they were using it online, playing a game or something like that. But as John Wayne would say it, I would have liked to get my hands in their lapels. But anyway, so the shipping here, it's always been a struggle. It really has. I can't tell you how many times it's just... that's the one thing, and I tell you, it's such a drawback for me because I'm so tired of hearing, "Oh, we can't ship it to you because you live in Hawaii." And I've actually heard this one before from them. Well, we only ship to the U.S. I kid you not, I've heard that one. Okay, got the ball. This is a squeaky ball. He's so obsessed with this thing. We're gonna see if he runs over here when he hears it. It's just her. Wow, you didn't come over. I'm surprised you didn't come running. Interesting. You know, guys, I figured I'd show you my tacticool rig. That's right. Yeah, going tactical, and I figured I'd show it to you. You know, just being everything is tacticool, and don't you love it when gun owners refer to their shotguns or AR rifles, or maybe their pistol grip shotgun, as a assault shotgun or an assault rifle. Assault is an action. Inanimate objects don't do that. So, and it's a really a negative term to put on guns. That's a yeah. So, but on this hand, I'd like to show you my tacticool rig, my ultimate gunfighter rig, if you would. Yeah, you ready? Right there. This is my John Wayne rig. Something that just brings a big smile to my face. I love this gun. I love this rig. I love John Wayne. It's Americana history, man. This is about as American as it gets. This is about as American as apple pie. the history, the love, the romance, the everything about this gun is just pretty much surpassed a lot of other things. This is my Rooster shooter, my Cimarron that I aged myself. It's unloaded. We're being safe. 45 Colt caliber. My custom grips on there. Just love this thing. You just have not lived if you have not handled, fondled, shot one of these things. I love it. That is my tactical rig, because I'm an operator of 1873. I can't help it, man. Rio Bravo, El Dorado, you just gotta love those movies. You know what? Somebody says, you want to go to the theater and see this new movie that's come out? I'm like, I don't know. You know, I don't really, I'm too much of an old school guy. I stick in the past because the past is kind of the right place to be, in a sense, if you ask me. There's too much things going on now that just doesn't make sense. In case you're wondering what happened to the vlog today, I forgot the camera at home, so let me make sure we're, yeah, okay. I forgot the camera at home, so stopped off at McDonald's for dinner because I was lazy. It's Friday night. I was very lazy. And for some reason today was just kind of rather stressful. So yeah, I got home. Santee's orders. I poured me a little shot, so in Santee's shot glass there. So always good, but yeah. Anyway, but really cool. This is something that caught me off surprise, because I got a box here and I thought that definitely can't be my Amazon order, because they didn't even ship that thing out yet. But it's addressed to Batjack JW, which is me. So, wow, okay, so somebody, one of you guys, sent me something, didn't you? Which I really appreciate that. That's super cool. Let's see how we do it. You know, every time I try these pull tabs on these things, they never work out. So I'm gonna go ahead and use the knife. Oh, this is tough cardboard. The good stuff. Cut away from yourself, kids. Oops. All right. Oh, wow. You are kidding. Oh, you guy. Man, that is super cool. Wow, I actually was thinking about buying this. Man, this is... Well, I thank you very much. This is from Edward Petty, and I really I appreciate that, man. That's really cool. You guys don't have to do this stuff, but man, this is just... I don't know how to thank you all enough for this kind of stuff. What YouTube has done for me, and just meeting all the people out there, even though we're not actually face to face, you know, we're separated by this screen. But it's amazing. Really cool. I saw this. I forget where I saw this being advertised, and I really thought, wow, that'd be really cool to have. And it's the fact that it's a bunch of his stuff that is, you know, I remember something like this that was it was for That it was for a band, a rock band that I really was never really into them, so I didn't really. It wasn't. I looked at it briefly once. It was for, I think it was for what's his name? I forgot his name, but the guy that sings for Nirvana. I never was really into them, but they released the thing where they had a bunch of handwritten things from him, and I thought that was really neat. Just the idea of that. But, you know, of course it wasn't interesting to me, but man, the fact that this is just really neat. I mean, it's got the copies of the letters and all kinds of stuff in here. Look at these photographs. Wow. I guess that's his. You know, I heard he got. I heard that the Duke got married out here. I'd like to know where that exactly was. Maybe I probably could look it up. He's on the log ride. Wow. Well, that is super cool. That is absolutely extremely cool of you to do, Edward. And all of you. There's so many of you that have gifted me things that it's unbelievable. And I keep all this stuff in its own little area, all these letters and little things that you've all sent me. You know, like Santee sending me, you know, for instance, a shot glass. You know, it really is. It's so neat to do this. I wish the you know, if somebody would have told me when I started doing this YouTube thing that I would meet the kind of people I've met, I wouldn't have believed you. I really wouldn't have. It's been such a journey. It's next year in July. It's going to be 3 years for the main channel. You know, coming up to 2 million views on the Batjack JW channel, and it's amazing. You know, I mean, it's been a rough ride in a sense, but it's also been fun. It takes a lot of my friends ask me about YouTube. What, you know, how does it go? You know, what about it? In the simplest way that it was told to me early on from a fellow YouTuber, Tom over at weaponseducation.com. I was talking to him before I made my own, and you know, one of the things, the advice he said is just to keep going, no matter what. Just keep cranking out the videos, and you'll gain an audience. And that was the best advice I ever gotten for this YouTube bit. But you know, it takes a lot of dedication. You have to want to do this. You have to want to do YouTube. You have to want to do video. For me, early on in an early age, I was always into film. I was always into movies and just doing this stuff. I loved making movies. I loved photography. In high school, photography was my favorite class, aside from ceramics, because I made a mess out of everything. Oh man, I don't know if I should even tell this ceramic story. Okay, so in ceramics, we had these, you know, obviously it's this gray clay that everybody's working with, and they have these rulers in there. They had all these tools, and one of the things they had was these rulers, this stainless steel ruler, and you know, so to me that was like, you know, like a sword or something. And the thing that came to my mind was the movie Braveheart, even though it's not really my favorite movie, because this may sound funny from a guy that loves Freddy Krueger and all that kind of stuff, but I always felt that Braveheart was a little too over the top for me. It was really barbaric. It was very brutal of a film. It shows you Mel Gibson, how well he made movies, because I mean, that movie to me is a stomach churner, because it just, I don't know, there's just something crazy about people running around and hatcheting each other. But that was something that I thought about, so I made this, like, you know, little man thing out of clay. And so for some reason I hollowed out, well, I know why I did it, because it was to make a mess, that I hollowed out the inside of this thing and poured water into it, and completed the rest of it, and it had water inside this thing. The water was to simulate blood or something, so I had this thing, now mind you, guys, I was like 15 years old, 16 years old, something like that. And I took the ruler and I hacked into this thing, and it made a disaster. It just like flew open everywhere. And this girl that sat next to me, this Hawaiian girl, she had this really nice dress on, and it splattered this gray clay water all over her dress. I'm very lucky she did not strangle me and probably kill me in the class. The entire table that I sat with, same people all the time, they thought it was nuts. I don't think I've ever really showed a bunch of people this, but I'll go do it. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. So these are the things I've made in ceramics in high school. This one here is the old man. Now, how this came about. This is another funny story. When I was in 7th grade, my classmate and childhood friend, he and we went through middle school and high school, and thereafter we were really good friends. He was always messing with clay long before I had any interest in it, but he had we had this teacher in 7th grade. It was for science. It was the first time I ever dissected a frog, and I remember just being thrilled to do it. And of course, while we were supposed to be doing the small amount of procedures, there I am. I'm already pretty much got both the legs cut off, and scalpels going through the frog into the styrofoam dish that was in, and scooped out one of the eyeballs already. And he comes over to me and says, "Well, looks like you've already tapped into day number 2." So anyway, so this teacher had a really distinctive look to his face, and my friend made a little clay head out of him. A little clay head, and it was the teacher. I don't know if he ever knew that we did this. So then he drew a picture. And I swear we drew this guy's face over and over and over and over again on everything, countless things. I don't know what it was about that, but we had drawn his face, a little makeshift cartoon of his face. Not to make fun of him. I like the guy. I see him in town sometime. He retired that year. But it was funny. And so that's kind of where this comes from. This is actually kind of a not exactly, but kind of a rendition of him. But weird thing is, the reason, why this is pink and his eyes and his mouth is green, is because when you worked with the glaze in this thing, you didn't really know. I mean, you kind of guessed that was the color, because everybody was mixing colors, and you dip one brush into one color and dip it into another, and you're like, oh, what are we doing here? Kind of. And then next thing you know, your project comes out all weird colors. So that's why. Anyway, that's the story of this. I have a thing for clowns too, so I did my little clown guy here. His mouth is that came from the carnival games, when you have the little squirt gun, and usually it's a clown head, and he's got his mouth, and you can shoot the water into his mouth to blow up the balloon. This is a little half of a dog bone. I had this idea. I don't know what happened to the other half. Yes, that's supposed to be a dog bone. I had this idea. It came from a cartoon,
You know, I thought you put a spring in there and then you put them together and you put a little latch on it. Say you made holes in there, and then the bone, you know, springs apart. That was the idea for that. This is just some of the stuff. This is just some of the. There's my pumpkin for Halloween. It's supposed to be a lantern. You put a candle in there, and then of course I made Pinhead from Hellraiser. I was the weird one in ceramics. So while everybody else is making, you know, flowers and vases and stuff, and what's this guy doing? Making clowns and old men faces. So, anyway, yeah, that's that's I don't know how we're talking about this, but we got on that topic. But wow, really, thank you very much. This is really neat. I've seen this, and I actually thought about buying this myself. Oh, that's really neat. Thank you. Thank you very much. You guys are amazing. You really are. Christmas is coming around, man. I can't believe it. It's so crazy. I can't believe November is just it's moved on. So I mean, you know, life just goes by quick. And I'm talking about high school, and that was, damn, I mean, it's been so many years ago. Seems like yesterday, doesn't it? Thanks, you guys.